So the feet hip width apart, just soften the knees, tuck pelvis under, begin to grow tall, crown of the head goes up towards the ceiling. Find pelvic floor, so pull in nice and fast, find TBA hollow down towards the hips, pull in fast and then slow release. 10 times. Pull in and slow release. And pull in and out. And in and out. Try and relax the shoulders and in and out and in and out and in. Try not to hold the breath with this. And out. 3 left and in, out and in and out. And last one. And in and out. Now pull in, big squeeze, 100%. Hold 5 seconds. So in, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. And again, and in, 100% squeeze. Now this is a good one to notice if you're holding the breath. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and slow release. One more time. Now you might feel like you're tiring more on these than the quick second ones. So pull in, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Halfway then, so just allow that to go to 50%, and we're going to hold it there throughout the class. Now you need a bit of space either side of you because we're going to do shoulder glides. So just check. I just thought I'd check that because I've got a big cabinet there. Just going to knock a load of glasses off. So neck release, shoulder glide, and then a side bend. So let's go up with one hand, level with the shoulder, ear down to shoulder. Reach towards your side wall. Recenter, lift the arm up to the ceiling, and then hand on hip over into your side bend. Then let's repeat on the same side. So 3 on one side, 3 on the other. So we get that full release on that side. Shoulder glide. Press down into the feet, hips still. Then over onto your side bend. Last one. Ear down to shoulder, find that neck release. Shoulder glides. Press down into the feet. Keep that 50% pull in on the core. Side bends. If you want a little bit more, both hands can reach. And then just take a really big, deep breath in your side bend and hold. And release. And then we'll go 3 on the other side. Exactly the same thing. Left. Ear down to shoulder. Into your reach. Recentering. And lift. And side bends. You can start to really notice how your feet feel here. So I try not to curl up the toes, so like relaxed feet, almost heavy, like you're really pressing down into the earth, making a bit of an imprint. And then release, and we're into that last one. Ear down to shoulder. Keep pulling in the core, shoulder glide. Recenter, lift. Side bend if you want that a little bit more into your hold. Take a big, deep breath in. Filling out the rib cage and release. Okay, arm circles now. You can put weights into this if you want. I'll lift it up slightly. I just realised that was a bit low. So weights if you want to put weights in. Or you can do a few and then add the weights in. So I always go kind of round so that my knuckles are touching each other, and then lift and open all the way up around. Touch, open, touch the top. And then again, bring it round, and then the knuckles can touch. And then you can turn, so your knuckles go outwards, and then touch at the top. And then with that one, you find that it almost helps open the chest a little bit, and it kind of sends the shoulder blades together. Breathing in, lift, and breathing out, coming down. Shoulders nicely relaxed, down away from the ears. Now notice what happens, and it can depend sometimes how heavy your weights are. Notice if you're arching in the lower back, so tuck pelvis under, pull in the core. If you want to add in up onto those toes at the top point, so there's a little bit of balance work in there, and then heels down. Breathing in, lift, breathing out, lower. 3 more. Keep that length there at the back of the neck. Crown of head is hard, isn't it, on the balance? Yeah, 2 more. Also, you can take balance off the mat. Sometimes that's a bit easier. And this one. Again, you can keep the weights on this. Take your shoulders down and back, elbows tucked in. It's a scapular set, so you kind of really get the feeling of the shoulders getting squeezed together. This is another one. Notice what's happening with the lower back. So tuck the pelvis under. Try not to let the lower back be arching here. Engage with the core. Find the pelvic floor. Adding in, if you want, you could just take some balance work. So just put the weight into one foot. And then perhaps to warm up ankles here, maybe a circle. I know you can't see my feet, but I'm just circling my foot. And then maybe point and flex. Quite nice as well, just warming up through the ankles. Try not to hold the breath. I notice I'm doing it. It's maybe because I'm talking as well. And then just swap it over. Same thing with your balance, maybe a little circle. Just kind of finding where you're at with your ankles. I've been in boots most of my day. There's Jo come in. I'll just let her in. Keep going for a couple more of these. Just let somebody in. Then the point and flex. Hi, Jo. We've done a couple of moves. We've done like engagement. We've done some neck, shoulder glides, and we're just on scapular set. So get bands, get weights ready. Okay, so put the bands down. Put the weights down for a sec and grab your loop band. We've been doing this all month. We've been doing the squats and then taking them sideways. So a couple of squats just to warm up. Feet hip width apart. Soften knees, so drag the knees, hips back into space, reach the hands forward, squeeze glutes lift. Not particularly working into the bands too much to begin with. Just let's get warmed up. Try and look forwards. Maybe just keep the shoulders relaxed. Try not to let the shoulders kind of come up or touch the ears. Check your feet are parallel. You might feel like you're scrunching your toes a little bit to protect the arches and not let them drop. So adding in, if you want, you've got these bands. Take it a little bit wider so you can feel a little bit of tension in the band. Down into your squat, and then it's a sideways walk. And you don't have to bring your hands forward, however you like. Sideways, a length of the mat. You've run out of space.
The plant.
And then up, and then a balance. Kick to the side for 4. Down, back into your sideways walk. And I think last week we did about 3 of these, so we'll go with the same. Onto the balance, 4 little leg lifts. Now the lower you go, the kind of more tricky it's going to get there in the glutes and things like that. So you can kind of focus on bringing it low, hips back into space. Coming across. Are you feeling that glute, around the glute med? So around the sides. Do you feel that?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Here, you might
I don't know if you're talking
yeah,
to
you
me
can
or
talk whenever you
whether
want to talk. It's fine.
I'm not
Everyone else is
completely
on. Everyone else is on mute, so.
Ah, right.
Yeah, they can't talk at the moment. But this is the last one, and then we take it back. Squats down and then across. Into the balance. Use the big toe there to anchor your balance. Okay, so a bit of a break from the band. Wide take a really wide leg. Now again, you can put your weights into this wide leg, and you can use 2 or you can use 1 weight. I'll leave it up to you. So you'll see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to lift 1 for a shoulder press, and then I'm going to bring that down towards the opposite foot. You could bend in the knee and then up. So you could do the same side, and I would suggest that, or if you want to alternate, but same side's probably easier and will be quicker. So we'll go 4 on this side and then 4 on the other side. Softening in the knee. And then we'll go to the other side. It's the shoulder left, bend in the knee, take the weight down to the foot. So you feel like there's a inner thigh hamstring stretch on the other leg, because the other leg's straight. There's also like a release there in the chest. We'll go 1 more. Which is quite nice. It's a bit like a wood chop, isn't it? So then this is when you might only want 1 weight, unless you put them both together, depends how strong you are, is you wood chop. So you're going to take both hands up to one side and then both down towards that bent knee. So it's both up and then both down. So yeah, however you've got with your weights, you might want to put them together, or if it's too much, work with 1. So you're bending in that knee.
Should there be rotation around the trunk
Yeah,
as
put a little
you're
bit
going
in.
up? Yeah.
Give a little bit of rotation, so you're getting a little bit of a twist. Yeah, that's fine. So look across. Find pelvic floor. Breathing in lift, and it's breathing out, come down. Last one, and then we'll swap sides. So follow the weights as well with the eye gaze, so looking up and then looking down. Same one. Lifting up, bending in the knee. Like particularly cold and wearing lots of layers, we don't really move, we don't really twist. So, bit of movement like this. You'll probably notice the body has moved after this one. 3 more. It's breathing in lift, breathing out, come down towards that bent knee. Last one. So weights down and arms out to the sides like a T shape. I'm going to come back a bit so you can see. This is the standing saw. So breathing, get nice and tall. Breathing out, take a gentle twist. Breathing in, get tall. Then breathing out, opposite hand goes down towards opposite foot. You can pulse if you want, or you can just literally come up and then it's the other side. Breathing, get tall. Breathing out, twist. Okay, sorry, go tessellate. Breathing, get tall. Breathing out, coming down. So with the hamstrings here, like a little bit of softening on the knee, so not hyperextending at the back of the knee. But you should feel the hamstring stretch. Normally we do this like in seated position.
Oh yeah.
And I often think like in standing, like people that don't normally touch their toes often get down to their toes. Pulsing, if you want to pulse, a little 3, reaching down and touches. We're going to go 2 more. We're actually doing this really well timed, aren't we?
I'm trying to, yeah.
You've never done this before.
No. I've done quite a lot in the last just few weeks.
Brilliant. Okay, so close eyes, balance next, and so find this one's hard.
Right.
So maybe come off your mat, come on a hard floor. So your option, you might like a tree, take the knee to a side like a tree position, or you might just want to hover the foot off the floor. So if you can do, start with a really slow 3, close your eyes and just count to 3. Use the big toe as an anchor, pelvic floor, glutes. Then open the eyes and it's just 5 heel lifts. So lifting the heel up and lowering. Engage the core. Squeeze in the glutes. This is about connection. So this is the foot to the glutes and the core, and then we're going up towards the brain.
Yeah, I find this difficult because of my arthritic big toes.
But it would be good. Be good to get those connections. Other side. So same thing, you could try if you did a tree, maybe a little bit of a tree, because this is good on the hips. See if you can do 3 seconds. Close the eyes.
No chance.
Then you've got your 5 heel lifts. So you can just relax your arms, shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed, forehead relaxed. Bit core still engaging.
Yeah, I find that actually almost impossible
To do the core
because
and the
just to be able to lift like that because of my arthritic toes. Yeah, that's exactly what I need to be doing when I'm running.
Yeah. It's good to practice. So from that, downward dog. So meet us down there. Downward dogs. Or puppy dogs if you prefer your puppy dog. Just make sure I'm all in. Hope that's fine. So maybe you like your slow roll down, chin into chest. Walk your hands forwards. However you like to find your downward dog. Send your hips up towards the ceiling. Perhaps pedal through if you're feeling a little bit tight. Feet hip width. Think about sending the chest towards the thighs. So we're really working for that stretch at the backs of the shoulders. You've got your ears wrapped around by your arms. A couple of deep breaths. Really think about widening rib cage. Then if you can, you're going to bring it down to a dolphin. So elbows coming down. So this is a bit harder to do your pedaling. So you might just want to think about the stretch there between the shoulders. Taking a couple of deep breaths. It is quite invigorating. The blood will all rush to the brain.
I've never done this.
No, I don't.
No, never heard of it.
Yeah, it's renowned to cure all disease.
Oh, really?
But obviously it's an inversion, so it's quite a powerful thing. We don't do it very often.
It's a lovely calf stretch as well.
Yeah.
After all that hiking we've done.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Then we're going to come down we're going to come to our planks. So we've been putting our planks in a bit earlier recently. So elbows under shoulders. Find the core, so pull in pelvic floor, pull in TVA. Take a big squeeze, and you can be in this position with the knees down, or if you want a little bit more, legs straight. So think about the position on the shoulders. So I can see it in my shoulders. Can you see how rounded they are? So I'm going to think about correcting that. Send the shoulders down away from the ears. So think about what happens with the chest. Is the chest all rounded? Or are you thinking about the chest kind of being parallel with the mat? So taking a couple of deep breaths here. Options to add in. Toe tap just off the mat and then center. Off the mat and center. And we can see if we can do 8 of these. You can do this exactly this with the knees down. Try and keep the hips still. And keep breathing. I actually lost count. It's because I was talking. You're counting.
I'm trying to ignore the pain in my toes.
Okay.
Yeah, from my
you can always take it down to knees.
Yeah, that might be good actually.
And then from there, a 10-second rest. 10 seconds rest, and then we're going to go again. What have I got planned? So this one. Front plank for a twizzle to side plank. So, pelvic floor TVA, engage, lift up the hips. Your option, you can do this with your knees down, or you can do it with your legs straight. So what we're going to do is literally turn onto the side of the foot. See if we can go for a side plank, star. Then moving all the time over to the other side, side plank. And star is there if you want to work with balance. So you can do that again with the knees down. It's your choice. Knees down, and then you can keep working. So if you can 4 more, that makes it 8. This one's quite a hard one because you have to rebalance.
Yeah.
And,
I guess you're using like all the core as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just to control that movement.
quite nice for the feet as well. The feet almost get like a bit of a massage.
Yeah.
2 more. Notice the chest again, so try not to let the chest round in the middle. Send the shoulders down and back.
A little click from the hips there.
Yeah. Release, I'll have a 10 seconds rest. Should we try that one again? I quite like that one. I wasn't planning to, but I kind of want to do it again.
Yeah, I'm going to watch what you do with your feet then, because I wasn't quite sure.
Okay.
If my feet should completely turn around.
Ready then? Lifting up. Then, if you want the full version, straight legs plank. So literally just roll.
Yeah. So
onto the side.
You've actually got the legs that's doing the supporting sort of.
So roll.
Completely on the ground. Yeah.
So what you'll get as well is like the lower leg on the outside of the lower leg is going to get strong because you're going to put your weight onto it. You can do that again with your knees down. Again, focusing on the chest, not rounding, so shoulders down and back. Try and keep the crown of the head in line with spine. Keeping breathing. I just noticed I hold my breath.
It's actually quite a workout.
Oh yeah. This is the last one.
Stop. Oh.
You can always have a rest whenever you want. So we're going to release from that with a cat stretch. So on all fours, chin into chest. Try and get the stretch on the shoulders. Then you can take a little spiral or a circle with the hips, which is sometimes quite nice as well because you put a bit of weight into the wrist, so you can. I'll get back a bit and then we breathe in. So it helps to strengthen wrists and forearms a little bit. Circle the other way around. Try and get that stretch like there between the shoulders.
Should you have your knees reasonably close together then?
They could be hip width.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you've got it good on there, hip width. So from there we're going to go down onto the mat and elbows kind of underneath shoulders for cobras. So engage with the pelvic floor and TVA, gently press down with the hands and just begin to look forwards, lift up the chest. So it's your version of cobra. It doesn't have to be this huge kind of extension on a lift. It could be a very small kind of work and lift into there. You might feel like you get more as you do it more. Options if you want then is lift. You can lift up and then bring your hips forwards and come onto the tops of your toes. So like onto the front of your foot. So you lift up your hips. Then it's a slightly different, longer stretch through the body. And you can just hold in there for a couple of breaths. Almost feels like someone's stretching you.
This feels so nice in the lower back.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I do have a very tight lower back, so yeah, it's lovely.
So from there, come all the way down, come back down onto our fronts. Rest your head on your hands, and we'll go to our glute activation. So squeeze in the glute, lifting up one leg and lower. Over to the other side, squeeze and lift. If you can with the breath, breathe out into the left, breathe in lower. So if you can get the glute squeeze, the hamstring activating, and then the lower back on the other side of the body, stabilizing the hips. So we did this one actually last week. If you want to add in arms down by the sides, breathing out, lifting up one leg, lift head and shoulders, reach the fingertips down the body. So we're adding in the swan dive, back extension. Try and keep the crown of head in line with the spine. Then your option as well, if you want to add in more, bring the hands to like a capital E shape or cactus shape, and you can bring in your lifts at that point. We're still working with one leg left.
Further progressions. You go into your lift, but this time both legs lift, and then a full extension. And then everything can lower. So you could do both legs, both arms, lift, extend, and then lower. We're going to go 2 more, whichever version you're working with, into your lift. Breathing out. Last one. And release. Release that with child's pose. Sit right back onto the heels, and you might just want to wiggle side to side. Bring the forehead down. Perhaps just relax the shoulders, so drop the elbows off the sides of the mat. And then come to the yogic breath, so breathing in, expand the belly. Breathe in a little bit more, kind of feel like you've got that expansion in the chest area. And then maybe you even feel you can breathe all the way up towards the back of the neck.
Okay, does it matter if you have your knees slightly apart?
No, and you can go totally apart. You can You can go as wide and on the mats as you like with the knees. That's a little bit more hip work if you go really wide.
So doing what in the hips?
It would a little bit more stretching. I never feel
Stretching.
I never feel comfortable up there, so that was good to hear.
That feels nice to me, having done the cycling and the walking, to be able to do that.
Yeah, so go for a wide knees if you want a little bit more work in the hips, or even just rocking side to side is quite nice as well. Just one more deep breath. Send the breath all the way up the spine. Okay, so from there we're going to go on to a side, so picking any side. Just take a check on the time, but we're fine. And then we'll go to loop bands. We're going to go a little bit on clamps. I'm not going to go crazy because we did those squats earlier. We did the banded squats earlier. So onto a side. And then see if you can line up your heels, your hips, your shoulders. Come forward slightly. Then almost like you're going to tilt forwards. So one way of gauging this is your elbows in line with your knee. That's quite good as well. So you are kind of a bit of a curve shape in this, like a C shape here. Then lift top knee, lower. I go hand on hip because I can gauge whether that hip's opening, and I can try and keep the hips still. Straight away I feel glute med, so round the side and the back. Yeah. Find the core, pelvic floor, TVA in. Notice what's happening with the feet. So I've just noticed it there. My feet started crumbling around each other. So see if you can relax the feet a little bit on that. Maybe heels touch, but maybe not the arches. So just see if you can keep a bit of space in there.
So what additional thing does it do having your feet in there then, Kate?
So if you put, try it now, put your feet down.
Yeah,
and then
mine's were down before.
Yeah, and then it's always interesting to try it, is if you put your feet down, that totally limits the length on that glute med. So if you lift and then you take it up and then you feel you feel the difference there, and it totally moves for you. Whereas you go feet down, and actually feet down isn't hip width, is it? Because actually if your feet are up, that's almost the position you would walk in. Yeah. This is like a question and answer session. I like this. It's fun. I never know what's coming up next, sorry.
I like to know the reason why we're doing what we are.
I should have planned the questions Glenn's going to ask, shouldn't I? When it goes
I won't try and test you and ruin your class.
No, it doesn't ruin it. It's brilliant. Okay, lengthening now. So legs nice and straight. You can leave the bands in or take them out however you like. Lift top leg. Lift bottom leg, engage with the core, lift rib cage, arm up, stretch it over and just take a really big squeeze. So no, before Christmas I was saying Christmas crackers, but I think I'm going to be banned from that now for a whole year. So I don't know, like a piece of celery, and then release. 2 more, lift, ribcage lift, then arm up and over and go for a really big stretch. And it's a balance obviously as well. I'm going to do 1 more, lift, ribcage. The ribcage is what will work the core. Then into that stretch, arms straight. I'm seeing a little bit of a bend in the camera, so straight arm, extend, and then release that down. So last one, and you can just bring the band down to your ankles for this one, or take it off. The side bend. We've been doing it all month, and I think we should finish doing it for the last one of the month. So basically upright, and the top knee goes up to the ceiling. That foot's on the inside. You got to play around with how far away the hand is from the hips, and it's breathing out, and it's your big side bend extend.
Okay.
And it's sometimes fiddly. We were saying this. It's fiddly to get the positioning right. Breathing out, up and extend. You can imagine here you're going to the top corners of your room, and you're just reaching. You're just reaching right up to there.
Do you want to try and push your hips forward in this?
That's a good way of saying. Yeah, they go kind of forwards and up. Yeah.
And then even slightly arching your back, like
You can arch. Yeah. You can go for full extension, and you can think about kind of you can really think about kind of a bit of flow and like almost dancing. Go 1 more. It's like a good free kind of move, as in you can grow into it. It's not a restraining one. We'll go to the other side. Oh, I don't know why I took the band out. Just testing you.
It's because I'm confusing you with all my questions.
No, it's good. Come down there. We'll go to the clams again. Again, you want to be falling forwards. Lift the heels, level with the hips and shoulders.
I've got the band around my ankles. No wonder I'm finding it easy.
Then engage with something on our side, especially in that moment where we're moving forwards. We don't pull in the core, so just a little bit pulling in. You can always put your fingers on your tummy as well, just see if there's a bit of tension in there. And if you want the breath, it's breathing out left, breathing in lower. So glute med is kind of good for the downhill. So we were hiking today, so coming down, stabilizing the foot, and so that would be important on that. Came down like loads of snow on a mountain today in trainers, and I totally forgot I had a pair of crampons in my bag. I feel so bad. I got back home and I emptied the rucksack, and they were there, and I felt so bad about this. Because
Every time I caught Kate up, she disappeared, so there wasn't actually time to ask her to take the crampons out of the bag.
Oh God. So you should start. I'm feeling that. Are you feeling that now?
Definitely.
So we'll go to the extension, straightening out the legs. So it's lift, and it's lift the rib cage. Almost you can slide your fingers there, up and over. Big stretch. Pull in the core. It's balance, so you might wobble a little bit, and then release. 2 more. Lift, rib cage. Draw in the core. Think about this arm being straight, so really work here for a bit of a stretch. You might feel the triceps in there a little bit. Try not to look down at the feet, so just look forwards. Last one, lift and lift. Rib cage, big extension, pull in the core. So wobbly on this side for me. And then release. So side bend now, so you can drop the band down or take it off. Top knee, come to sort of, one end of the mat. Top knee goes up to the ceiling, bottom knee just down, that foot's in front. Breathing out into your big lift, up and over. And don't think about being a rule here, just kind of think about getting a really massive stretch, you know, almost like an arch if you can get that far over. 2 more, or 3 more, let's do 3 more. The neck's quite interesting as well in the head, so you could maybe take and look up. That would challenge the balance a little bit more.
I'm finding that really nice in the lower back on the right hand side.
Yeah, that would do it, wouldn't it? Yeah. Lowering down then. Okay, come out of the bands and go onto our backs. Quick check on the time. Nice. As I was explaining earlier to Chris how my pink cheeks was the snow. It's not wine, by the way.
And
the fact we got the heating
put
on.
some foundation on, so I'm okay.
Oh dear.
I've just heard the prosecco pop downstairs.
Oh, no.
I
I think it was a dog barking. We'll say that.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Boxing Day Pilates. Right. Neutral spine, so just take a moment, maybe a pelvic tilt. Just readjust, tuck the pelvis under, pull in the core, length at the back of the neck, shoulders relax. We're going to go 5 sets, and I don't know if Gwen's done this one before. 5 sets of the 100, so it's going to be 4 toe taps. It's going to be an 8-second pulse, and then we're going to come up for an 8-second hold. Done it before?
Probably.
Probably, yeah, okay. Watch the right angles behind the knees. So let's adjust, maybe take the feet slightly down towards the end of the mat. Okay, so I'm going to go on beginners. If you know your layers, you can go straight through. So lift one leg to tabletop, that's 1. Then 2, 3. Try and keep the hips still. Imprint lower back down. Then 4. Lift head and shoulders, look to knees. Pulsing the arms up and down, but keep the tummy still. So really engage, particularly like where the tummy button is. Pull in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide hands towards knees. So the rib cage goes towards the hips and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Upper layer if you want it. Tabletops. Imprint lower back down. 4 toe taps and 4 and 3. See if you can keep that right angle there behind the knee. And 2 and 1. Lift head and shoulders to pulse. 8, 7, 6. Tummies are still. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Straighten legs. Reach hands up towards knees. So the ribs are going to the hips. It's a chest lift. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. I'm going to go progress if you want it. Opposite arm lifts to the leg goes down. 4 and 3.
This is a test of coordination.
And 2.
You're trying to catch me out.
1. If you want more, hover for your pulse. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. A little bit more on this last hold is teasers. So lifting up the chest, shoulders down and back.
Can't do that.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release it down. You've got those layers, so you choose your layer. So let's go last time. 4. Oh no, not last time. We've got 2 steps. 3 and 2. Try and stay everything hip width. 1. Ready to pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. This is the last one. 4. Imprint lower back down. 3, 2, and 1. Ready to pulse. Tummy stay still. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And ready to hold.
Is that cheating?
3. No, not at all. And you can also go like that. Bend the knees. You can do that one too. And where I've forgotten to count. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Take a full body stretch. So find the longest piece of celery
Oh, I like this one.
that you can be. Give everything a squeeze, so perhaps point toes, scrunch the fists, pull the tummies in.
You know, Kate, this is fantastic for body streamlining on front
Oh,
core, out of the
amazing.
turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know some triathletes that would benefit from this.
Yeah. Scrunch up your face. Take a big deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, just relax. Just let everything go. So from there, bend the knees and just bring the arms up over and point the fingers towards the ceiling, palms together. Shoulders down and back. So take a moment just to see where your shoulders are at. Maybe roll them down and back. And then we're going to go chin towards chest. So the start of the move starts with the chin. And then we're going to bring this across to the side of the knee for a little bit of a kind of twist and then recenter. Chin to chest, chest lift. Over to the side, recenter. Breathing out as you lift. Breathing in lower. Starts there with the neck and the chin. So this is core again, so we just check you're pulling in. You got your pelvic floor, that TVA, but also maybe your obliques on the sides, getting a bit of a work now. Adding in, if you want, the opposite side to the knee, lengthen out the leg. So there's just a heel slide, or you could take this move to another level, tabletops. And then add in your extension. If you feel like you're too wobbly on tabletop, just take it down. For me, I'm a little bit wobbly today. And it's breathing out into that left, breathing into recenter. Just 3 more. And last time. Then just take a bit of a release for a moment. We're going to go to a double leg stretch, but I'm going to put in a bit of a combo. Shoulder stand to double leg stretch. So you need a bit of space in front and a bit of space in the ceiling. So you're going to come up to your shoulder stand. So bend the knees, go into your lifts, and you get a release there. It's the throat chakra release. You might feel it in your throat. That's where I just coughed. Chin goes towards chest. You get length at the back of the neck. So your option here, you could take a hamstring stretch. So if you want to slowly lower the legs parallel to the mat, go for that. You don't have to. Then go back up to shoulder stand. Then bend in the knees really slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Lower yourself down, hands down, double leg stretch. So that's when you need to imprint the lower back down, and then you take yourself back up. You can put in your options there if you want. You might just want to hold your shoulder stand, or you can take it over to get the stretch there, hamstrings and lower back. See if you can go back up to shoulder stand with control, and then you can lower down, bend knees. Really slowly. Now if you want more on that double leg stretch, arms over the head. So that's you imprinting that lower back down. So if you can work 3 more, now you can just go at your own pace. Own variations. You can take a wide leg, as you go over, roll over if you want to, and then bring it together back in. At no point you're holding your breath, so just kind of nice and slow, controlled. You can just take an extra breath whenever you want. Lost count again. I did 3 more, didn't I?
I'm supposed to be there counting.
Yeah. You're taking notes over there.
I'm too busy concentrating on trying to do it right.
Hopefully you feel some heat in the body with this. We'll do 1 more. It's not a combo actually I've done that many times.
Yeah, I've never done any of that stuff before,
No.
but it feels good though.
Yeah. So we'll go to a bit of a release now. So just take the arms shoulder width, like a T shape. Bend the knees. Breathe out. Just let both knees drop across to one side. So this is lower back release. Chest stretch. Neck release, so you can look in the other direction. And then you recenter. Imprint the lower back down, and then take it over to the other side. So I find if I just flow over, my hips are in the wrong place, so I do a little shimmy and I pick up the hips in the middle, but maybe not everyone needs to do that. And it's just to breathe in to center, and it's breathing out as you do your release. Try and take your shoulders super heavy, just so if you can let go of the upper body. And just 2 more of these. This is like my favourite kind of end of the day kind of, end of the day stretch. So recentering, coming back to the middle of your mat. Bring your heels so they're a bit closer to your bum. Knees and feet hip width apart. We're going to shoulder bridge now. So it's pelvic tilt, lifting up the hips. Chin goes into chest. It's that throat chakra release. Your option now, you could add in bending in the knee, a leg lift. And you might want to extend, or you might just want to keep it bent and then place it back down. Now adding in, just for a bit of fun and to work with balance, you could take like an opposite arm extension, or literally work through alternate arms. So you don't have to worry too much about coordination. Now notice what happens with the hips. Try not to let them tilt. Squeeze in the glutes. This one's glute strengthening. It's lower back strengthening. And also does that work there on the throat chakra. We'll go 2 more, just try and keep the feet parallel.
Do you get more of a stretch, Kate, if you try and bring your toe up towards you, like that, rather than pointing the toe?
So slowly bring your bridge down, and we'll hamstring stretch now. So I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
So you take the long band. Now we've been working with a lot of different choices, but if you go for the length of the band, and put the foot into the length, so then you can do flex and point.
Oh, that's nice.
It's really, this is as good as getting a massage, I reckon.
Oh god, yeah.
And you can think about the control on the foot. So think about what's happening with the arch. Is it kind of chemiprinating in and things like that. So see if you can keep the control. But you can also just work with your hamstring stretch. So if you know you're particularly tight, the back of the knee, central hamstring, just push away at the back of the knee and hold. But then you can hold, you feel it got that stabilization, then you can put back into your flex and point. So basically it works with the central muscle, which obviously is the big muscle and can get tight. But then when you start putting in the little moves like the flex and point, you start really engaging on the little muscles all around it. And another thing you can do is go inside with the foot and then outside. So then you get these stretches all around the ankle. Maybe shins in there as well. But you're still holding there your hamstring stretch all the time.
So I guess doing some of this sort of work would help strengthen the ankle so that you don't go over on your ankle on rough terrain.
So this, like for me, I do a lot of this with living up here in the fouls and also then if you do go over your ankle, it's not going to break because the muscles have got the flexibility to deal with it. Yeah. Then release, we'll go to the other side again, work with the length maybe as well, because we've been doing a lot of actually, we've been doing this one, I'll just show you Gran.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of that one, controlling the knee, and a lot of single leg dip work, single leg squat work.
Okay.
But coming into the new year, we'll perhaps come back onto some little muscles again. So again, you might want to think about your hamstring stretch, so push away at the back of the knee. Notice if your lower back's lifting off, so think about the imprint there, so try and imprint lower back down as well. It's all about those connections, the lower back, the hamstring. So for me, this side's a lot tighter, that's interesting. Don't know why.
Yeah, my hamstring's tight on this side, it always is.
Yeah. I used to get really tight on my left because I would always run around that field opposite the leisure centre.
Yeah.
And for some reason I would only ever run around it. Which way is that? Anti-clockwise. Yeah. I don't know, never go around the other way. It's so funny.
You were a track runner, isn't it? That's why.
Whereas now I don't really run around any fields. I don't really get too many imbalances, but yeah. I was always had that problem. Inside and outside. Or just hamstring stretching. At least once a week, I think, just 5 minutes on the hamstrings, so just will save so many injuries.
Yeah.
So we'll release from there, and then if you can make your way up to seated position, so maybe you press a little bit of a rock. And we're going to do another little roll back. I know the shoulder stands a bit of a roll back, but we're going to do the seal. So soles of the feet together. Now if you don't like rolling back, you can just hold this stretch, soles of the feet together. Hold on to the feet and just really enjoy inner thigh stretch. Try and think about lifting at the chest, take the shoulders down and back. If you want to roll back, get some space behind you. Then take the arms underneath and then hold on to the feet, hover the feet up. And think like a seal, flippers, 1, 2, 3, then rock back over the head, 1, 2, 3, then come back to hover, 1, 2, 3, and then back. Yeah.
Back. I'm stuck.
If you haven't done it before, you do get stranded.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Help!
So often it happens a lot on the village hall Thursday, that one. But you get it if you get moving, and you think about your chin, your head. There's a lot of weight in your head, so chin. As you come back out, chin goes towards.
Ooh, yeah.
She's stuck. Coming back. Okay, we've got a couple moves, and then I'm going to finish. So flex the feet, get nice and upright. So we're going to go for you need space behind you again. So we're going to go halfway down, roll down. So control. Keep the feet flexed halfway, so just tease. Bring it back up, and then just put one hand around the body for a little twist. Really gentle, so no forcing, almost like, you just left something around there, I'm just going to grab it. And then just work through your pace. When you get back up here, just see if you can just take a check. So you're lifting up the rib cage, the shoulders are relaxed. Same as you're coming down, shoulders just relaxed. Take those little twists. These are the bits here, breathe out. Coming down, breathe in, come back up. Little twist. If you feel confident, you can get back up. You can try going all the way down. You can always put your long bands around your feet. So you can come all the way down, and then chin to chest. Come back up, put these little twists in still. It's all really nice and slow and controlled. Just 2 more. You can even just slide hands there on legs. Last one. Oh, I started twisting when I went down there. It's time to stop. Nice, last move, spine twist. So seated position or legs straight. Grab a cushion or a block if you know that you want one. Option, you could go palms together. Shoulders down and back, lift up rib cage. I'm gonna put in my band for this one, or you can go long band around the back. So again, your choice. If you go bands, try not to drop wrists. So see if you can just keep upright. Breathing in, get nice and tall, and breathing out, twist. Breathing in, tall. Breathing out, twist. Anyone would think we practiced this today, Gwen?
I'm actually quite flexible on the shoulders, so I keep whacking the wall.
Well, this is, so actually if you have got that flexibility, so I'm watching what you're doing now, try and bring it so you are a T-shape, so you're not going beyond that.
Is it better to have that T-shape?
Yeah, so try not to, if you're hypermobile like that in the shoulders, try not to take it beyond the T.
Okay. And why is that?
I think you could damage your shoulders, right? The tendons, around your shoulders. Breathing out for the twists. Should feel it on those long strands either side of the spine. That was the grandfather's clock, isn't it? I was wondering what that bell was. It was the bell for dinner, but it was it was the grand. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, release, palms together. Namaste.
Namaste.